gather up. There's water on the gators if you need it as a reminder. So this spring when we planted this and we drive by and look at the corn coming up and all that, there was this one little stretch and it just looked incredible. You know, it's like, man, we're gonna have some really good corn here. And I ended up tagging the name bell curve on it because back in school I learned that if you were grading a course on the curve, I was going to end up on one of those ends, and it wasn't going to be the good end. But so we got to why is this the way it is? What's going on here? Is this water? Is the soil? Is it what? So we had Neil pull cores from the center and then the two ends, and talk about that a little bit, Neil.
Yep. I think we pulled this one first, you know, and this is actually the top right here. And as you go down, it actually gets darker. So like right about here, it gets darker and kind of the soil structure changes too. All of this is washed in. So there's about 3 to 3.5 foot of erosional sediments that all kind of, you know, and if you look behind you, there is a culvert here. This is sort of the depositional waterway position. But that all washed in and was deposited here. So, but that is holding water, you know, and some of the things that you see in the crop performance behind me. So,
what was interesting to me is I asked Neil what the time frame on the washing in.
I think I said in the last 100 years. I mean, or decades. Oh, sorry.
But it's not real recent practices. This has been around for a while. This has been going on. This is the natural shaping of the landscape.
Correct. Yep. Yep.
So there's a lot of topsoil here. And in the good old days, Engineer Bob says, go get yourself a tractor and a scraper, scoop it up, haul it up there, where there isn't much. But there's a lot of downside to that. And so we're going down a direction that says, well, let's just grow that soil because the act of moving this around isn't necessarily a good thing either. But it was striking for me in a field that we've been whining about how sandy it is and how variable it is. There's just really beautiful soil down here in one little spot. And so, but the goal now is if we can get that soil in better shape, let's keep it up there also.
Yeah, I guess one thing I meant to start off with, you know, one of the reasons I'm really interested in this project, there's a lot of variability in this field, you know, and what these guys are doing is things that are going to overcome that variability. They're going to sort of hopefully even out things throughout the field, you know, so. And like I said, I think you're following the right game plan. The practices and things you're implementing should help, you know, build soil, build water holding capacity, all these things to even out your crop production.
Okay, good. So now we're going to walk over. Graham?
I just placed here. So this place here, this is the lowest part where the water flows. There's a culvert over there behind the gator. And when we get a lot of rain, it runs off here and across to that field. And every time when I was in the office, I'd come home after a rainfall, and I could always tell it had a rainfall because this grass here would be covered in silt. And this year, 3 weeks ago, we had 2.5 inches of rain come down in less than an hour, real heavy downpour. It flooded here, ran through the culvert. That's the first time I've not seen that layer of silt laying across the grass here. Right? I don't know if it was the crops reduced the velocity of the flow or certainly held the soil back, but that's one observation since we started here.
I would suggest you probably, if it's possible, you had better infiltration too, but sand's got good infiltration anyway.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so let's walk another